Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an American expat living in Malaysia, and I like to share my life and travels with you. Well, today I'm going to talk about the benefits of living in a tropical climate. How does that sound? Sound interesting? Stay tuned. Well, it's only the 13th of November, and look who has their Christmas tree already up. I told you I was going to do it when I got back from Penang, and I did it lickety-split. I have some new lights this year. I'm not sure they're really bright enough. It looks better at night, but I think you can get the effect, and I'm not completely finished with the tree yet. I'll give you some close-ups here of some of the things on the tree. I actually made these bows, and it's sort of a floppy fabric, so it's a little bit hard to get them to look right, but they do have wire in them, so that helps a lot. As usual, I went with a mostly silver theme. Now I have a bunch of more personal ornaments that I'm going to have a friend come over and help me put on the tree. That'll be fun. We can have a couple of cocktails and finish decorating the tree. So I hope you like it. I think it's beautiful this year. And you know, this is my new tree. So look how lush and thick it is. Can't see through this one, that's for sure. Also, I wanted to let you know that I got new microphones. Oh my gosh, my other ones were giving me fits. It was picking up every sound, especially when I was out in public. It was terrible. And then in post-production, I'd have to isolate my voice for every clip, and it was really time-consuming. So I got some new microphones I hope I'm gonna like as much, if not more, than my old ones. Now, you know, the old ones I had were these big, clunky Rode microphones. And yeah, they just hang on my clothes, and I don't know. They're good microphones, but something went wrong with the receiver, and you can't just replace the receiver. You have to buy the whole set with the mics and everything. And it's pretty expensive. So this time I went with a little lower cost one. These are called DJI, and they come in this cute little charging case, which is wonderful. So everything fits in here. And look how small the microphones are compared to that last one. So let me know how they sound. I hope it's going to be much better. I think it's going to be easier for me in the long run. Also, because I need another adapter for my new microphones, I can't be recording on my phone right now, so I'm using my iPad. So the quality might not be as good as it normally is, because I don't think the iPad camera is as good as the iPhone camera. But we'll see. It'll have to do for this week. I know the little adapter will come in the next few days, but I needed to get this video done. So I wanted to talk to you today about the advantages of living in the tropics. You know, there's disadvantages, of course. You know, lots of sweat, bugs, things like that. But there's really a lot of wonderful reasons to live in a tropical climate. First of all, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, I guess I'm still in the Northern Hemisphere, but so close to the equator, might as well not be. But for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, you're moving into winter now, fall and winter. Now, I love fall, don't get me wrong, and I do like the change of seasons. I like spring, and I like fall, and I like summer. I'm not a big fan of winter, however. Now, I lived in a pretty moderate climate in Washington, D.C. for 40 years. And we didn't get that much snow, and when we did, it was just a nightmare because the city just was not equipped to handle it, let me tell you. Also, as many of you know, my last job before I moved to Malaysia was at a church, and I was the church administrator. As the administrator, I was responsible of having all the driveways and parking areas cleared of snow every time it snowed. And I had a company that came regularly as soon as it snowed. I didn't even have to call them. But they didn't do everything, and I had to do some shoveling and stuff like that, and boy, I don't miss that one bit. I really think snow is pretty, a little bit of it, but I don't miss it, let me tell you. So it's never cold here. I never have to deal with snow here, so that's a blessing. But as I've mentioned before, Malaysia is not the hottest of Southeast Asian countries. It has a fairly mild climate. Now, I know a lot of people say, no, that's not mild, that's hot, hot, hot. Yeah, I guess it is to some people, but as I've also said before, you do get used to it, and you acclimate, and you stop sweating so much, I swear. One thing I really like about living in a tropical climate is there's no daylight savings time. I don't know if they have that all over the world, but in the US it's very popular, and they move the clocks back or forward depending on the time of year. So it gets lighter earlier or lighter later. I don't know. I can't remember which way it goes. But I do know that in the winter, it gets dark really early in the afternoon, like 4:30. And that's depressing. And that brings up another thing. I know a lot of people in the world suffered from SAD, that seasonal affective disorder. And I had it a bit too. They even sell lights that you can have in your house to give you enough light to counteract the lack of sunlight. So, living in the tropics, I never have SAD. No, I can't say I'm never sad, but I don't have SAD. Another nice thing is that there are abundant fruits and vegetables year-round, and that's really good. Lots of beautiful tropical fruits. I love pineapple the best. And pineapple is really inexpensive here. You can also do outdoor activities all year round. Now, you know me, I don't do a lot of outdoor activities, but I do swim, and you can swim all year round, and that's just wonderful. But if you like hiking or biking or things like that, you can do that all year round too. Also, one of my favorite things is being able to dine al fresco, sitting outside to have my meals. Now, that's mostly done in the evening when it's cooler. It's so nice to have a tropical breeze wafting by while you're having your meal. And you know, there are actually health benefits to living in a tropical climate. One of the main things is you get plenty of vitamin D from the sun, so you don't have to worry about taking a supplement for that. There are also fewer cold-related illnesses. Now, as you know, I complain about it enough, is that I do frequently get colds, but they're not as bad usually as they were in the States. And I guess I've been lucky lately. I do take vitamin C every day, and I haven't had one in quite a while now. Also, in the wintertime, oh gosh, the dry air used to drive me crazy. It would dry up my nose and it would bleed sometimes. Oh my goodness, that's really nasty. And it's humid enough here, you never have to worry about dry air. Now, you have to worry about the humidity, but like I said, you get used to that. I also think you have less stress living in a tropical climate. Well, you don't have to worry about the snow and things like that, but it's just a slower, more balanced lifestyle, I think. And because it's warm, everybody acts like that. Nobody's in a frenzy. Nobody's in a hurry to do anything. So you can just relax and enjoy your time. Also, if I ever miss the cold weather at all, I can just turn on the aircon like I have on now, making it nice and chilly. And then I can sit by the fire and it reminds me of being back in the north. I was thinking about it the other day too, and there are cost savings for living in a tropical climate. I didn't think about that at first, but when you start thinking about it, there's many, many things. One of the main things is clothing. You don't need nearly as many clothes as you had in the north. I mean, you know me and my shirts, but I have these on all year round. You know, I only own maybe one long sleeve shirt. I do have a jacket that I took to Paris with me because I needed it there, but I've never worn it since I've been back. You do see people wearing jackets here when it gets down a little bit cooler than normal, but I don't need one. Also, I never need to wear long pants. Well, except when I'm going to a fancy restaurant or something like that. I went out to dinner the other night with a viewer, Frank, from the US, and we both wore long pants. But I know we debated, and we probably didn't need to. But sometimes it just feels good. Also, a huge savings is on shoes. My goodness. I wear my flip-flops, which are orthopedic and really good for my high arches that I have, and they don't make my feet get tired. They were expensive, like 300 ringgit, or about $75. But I have a couple pairs of them. I have some red ones, and I have my black ones that I wear every day. And I do have some leather shoes that I wear when I go out, like for a fancy evening, like I was saying. And I recently bought these new shoes. They're Skechers for my trip in the spring when I go to Greece and the Greek Isles. I think they'll be good, but I'm breaking them in first because I foolishly, when I went to Paris, took some shoes I hadn't broken in and I got a blister the first day and hobbled around the rest of the time I was there. It was so painful. I know you're not supposed to take unbroken in shoes with you on a trip, but I made a mistake that time for sure. Another money-saving thing is that you don't really need to take hot showers here. I mean, the ambient temperature of the water is already fairly warm. Now, I know you can take a hot shower, but you don't need to. You mostly want to cool off anyway. So you save money by not keeping the water heater on. But that's another thing they have here that I think is very economical, is that you turn on the water heater only when you're using it. And it's just not heating your water 24/7 like it is in the States in most places. What a waste of money that is. So I save a little money here and there by that. Also, your car never needs snow tires or any chains or anything like that. That's a cost savings. And you don't have to spring for heated seats. I had a car that had heated seats once, my Volvo, and oh, it was wonderful when it was cold. And oh, I have a funny story about that though. I have a friend who had a Volvo a long time ago, Robin. I went to high school with her and I was visiting her in Virginia Beach, and it was really hot and it was in the summer, and I kept turning on her heated seat just as a joke, and then she would notice and she'd get really mad at me. Sorry, Robin. Another thing you save money on, and this isn't a big expensive item, but it's toilet paper, believe it or not. Now, I don't know that that's necessarily a climate-related thing. All the bathrooms here in Malaysia have bum guns, so you just spray off, and then you just need a little teeny bit of toilet paper just to dry off. So I get a pack of 10 toilet papers, and that lasts me like a year. So that's a cost savings. And I don't know about you, but I just feel happier in a warm climate. Like I said, those dark winter days, oh, that can get so depressing. But here, it's just sunny and nice all the time. And if you're a fan of huge storms, which I kind of am when I'm inside, they have the most spectacular lightning shows here and big, big rainstorms. And that cools things off, but it's also entertaining too. Also, for those of you who are avid gardeners, you can do year-round gardening here. So that's amazing. Now, as you know, I did another video not long ago about dealing with the heat and how to stay cool. So I'm not going to go into that too much right now because I did a whole video on it already. So for all those reasons and for many more, I just enjoy living in a tropical climate. And you should think about it too. I just think it's better for you all around. I did read something recently that said if you're thin and in good shape, you'll deal better with tropical climate than fat boys like me. But I do okay with it. So that's all I have for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope my background gets you in the Christmas spirit. It's not too soon to put up your tree, you know. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. And check the notification bell too, that way you won't miss any of my future content. Also, buy me a coffee if you can. I appreciate it so much and it helps support my channel. Here's a list of the people that contributed last week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, here are my monthly contributors. I appreciate them so much. Maybe I could grow a little bit though. Maybe I could have to scroll it. That would be nice instead of just having it all fit on the screen. So that's all I have for today, you guys. I know this is probably a little bit of a lame video, but I just couldn't think of anything this week and time was getting away from me. So I thought, well, I can come up with something, and I did. I was thinking of skipping this week, but I hate to disappoint my viewers. So that's it for today, everybody. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you're getting your Christmas tree up soon. Talk to you later. Bye.